Hey guys and girls, it's Ken and Gina here from OKportugal. It's an absolutely beautiful day here in Portugal. It's October, it's autumn, but it's still 25 degrees, the sun is out, and this is exactly why we've decided to move to Portugal in the first place, for all of this incredible weather.
We're just walking into the village to get some bread. We're taking the dogs with us. They normally get to sniff their sniffies around the farm, but quite often we'll just take them out for a little different sniff elsewhere.
Yeah, I think it's important to, not only exercise their little doggy legs, but to also exercise their nostrils.
It's like reading the newspaper for them.
It is, yeah.
They can see who's been where and what sheep have been passed.
Yeah. Yesterday we had an absolutely awesome day. We had a whole bunch of friends come around. We had a little bit of a party, like a small party on the farm. And yeah, we got together with people that you probably already know from their respective YouTube channels. We were having so much fun that I didn't really record any of it, because that was our downtime. That was time for us to chill and relax. But I did manage to get a couple of little clips, and I thought I'd squeeze them in here.
We'll do a collection for a second one. That's so much fun.
Still works. Buy one each.
Yeah.
So the last couple of weeks we've been out gallivanting and seeing some of the sights of Portugal, but this is Portugal farm life, so we thought we'd show you some of the stuff that we've been up to this week on the farm.
One of the jobs I did this week was to empty out our swimming pool. Now, legally and technically speaking, this is not a swimming pool, it's an agricultural water tank. We don't actually have a proper filter in here or anything like that. I've been using a pond filter, and we managed to keep the water looking really good the whole way through summer. We were adding very small amounts of chlorine, so we didn't have an algae build-up and stuff like that. And it's been an amazing thing to use in the summer. But at the moment, it's not really swimming weather. I mean, it is quite warm. I think it's about 26 today. But the water in the pool would have been about 20 degrees. And for me, that's a little bit too chilly. So the main reason why I emptied out the pool was because of all of these leaves. If you look above us, we've got all of these vines here. And if I turn the camera around, we're in our vineyard. We've just got tons and tons of leaves. The wind's going to be blowing all of those into the pool, and every single day it was just like a battle to try and get all these leaves out. So it was much easier just to drain all of the water out, and now I don't have to worry about it. you know, we aren't swimming right now. So once all of the leaves have stopped falling, you know, once all of these are off the trees up here, then I think I'm going to fill it back up again. And then we're going to have a cold pool to swim in the winter. Now I know that that probably sounds pretty crazy to everyone, but one of the things that I did a couple of years back, just before we moved to Portugal, was we started to do winter swimming in the sea. And it's a really, really tough thing to do, you know, to force yourself out of your comfort zone, you know, out of your central heated house, and to force yourself to go down to the beach and climb inside icy cold water. And it's a pretty crazy thing to do, in fact. But when you start to do it, you actually start to feel really amazing. It's like, you know, really good for your circulation. It really helps to elevate your mood as well. I think, you know, it might be something to do with like the fact that if you can drag yourself out of your house, you can drag yourself into ice cold water, then you can do pretty much anything, you know, like tough jobs suddenly don't feel so tough anymore. So that's something that I want to start doing again, because, you know, 2 years of living the comfortable farm life has been absolutely amazing. But it's also time to sort of challenge ourselves and push ourselves again.
Chickies! Don't pick me. Nothing goes to waste on the farm when you've got chickens, and they especially love rice and pasta, who must look like little worms and little bugs and things. As you can tell, some of them are looking a bit featherless, that's the right word. It's because, as you know, we were looking after the Indie Project's chickens for a little while, and Theo and Bea have come and taken their chickens back. And Big Willie, obviously being a rooster, was mating them. And before that, we had roosters, and they seem to have interrupted their molting season. So every time they've molted, we've had roosters that have just been mating them. So the little brown one, she's starting to get all her feathers back now. I'm hoping they'll get them all back for winter. Otherwise, I'm going to have to knit them some jerseys. As you can see, the black one over there, that one lost all of its feathers on its back last winter, and it had to snuggle itself up with the other chickens at night time to keep warm. So I might have to get my knitting needles out. But I'm hoping they'll all be growing back now, the feathers.
Our farm has seen some amazing seasonal changes in a very short space of time. We've gone from dry, dusty fields into some luscious green pastures. We also have Joaquin's sheep on our bottom field feasting away on the new corn that we grew for them this summer. I'm standing in our bottom field and I'm surrounded by a whole bunch of sheep. Now these aren't our sheep, these belong to our next door neighbor Joaquin. And we help him to grow food on our farm so that he can feed his sheep, and this milk goes into like the production of a cheese called soyleira cheese. So if you ever see that at the supermarkets and you buy some of that, when you're tasting it, you're actually eating some of the grass that came off our farm and off the surrounding farms around here. Now Joaquin helps us with so much stuff on our farm, so it's the very least that we can do to allow him to have some pasture and stuff to graze his sheep with. And only a couple of weeks ago, this was all bright green, you know, just before the sheep came on. And I've actually got some footage of when we first put the sheep on, and you can see like a stark difference between what it looks like now and what it looked like back then. But yeah, these guys really are eating machines.
It's not just about our feathered friends on the farm, it's also about our furry pets as well. This is Boykie. He's a very big Mancoon cat. He's 11 years old, so he's getting on a bit, but he's such a friendly giant. Whenever we have people over to visit, he's always the first to greet them and want to sit on their laps and have a stroke, just like this. We've been asked quite a bit about Nanook, who's our other Mancoon cat. She's the oldest of all our pets. She's going to be 13 soon. And a while ago she was diagnosed with cancer, or indicators of cancer, and she was really unwell for quite a while. We changed her feeding routine a little bit, and we now feed her on demand whenever she's hungry, but we also put lots and lots of water in her food, and that seems to have really helped. And now she's growing all her fur back and she's putting on lots of weight. She was skin and bone for quite a while. She doesn't really like sitting out here with us. She's more independent, although she is the boss of all of our pets. But she's asleep under the bed at the minute because she likes to go out at night time and catch a few mice to bring us back as presents, which is always lovely. It's such a nice thing to step out the front door in the morning and see a half-eaten mouse there. But no, she's doing really well. So thanks for all the prayers for her and comments in the comments section. So she's doing much better. So hopefully we've got a bit more time with her.
It's always really difficult working with pets and animals, and when you want to get them in the right place at the right time, they're never ever quite there. But we've succeeded, and this is Mimo. Her full name is Mimosa, and Mimosa is an acacia, which is a type of plant that grows here in Portugal. It's actually an invasive species that weasels its way into your heart, and that's exactly what she's done. You know, it's very hard to get rid of. But yeah, basically she's a mixture of two Portuguese livestock guardian breeds. One of them is a Serra da Estrela, which is a really big mountain dog from the Serra da Estrela mountains. And the other one is called a Rafeiro do Alentejo. So she's got those two breeds in her. And we were expecting her, come here Mimo, you've got to be on camera. And we were expecting her to be a lot bigger by now because we've had her for a whole year. And yet she's still quite small. So yeah, I don't think she's going to get much bigger. And we're not sure why, because both of those mountain dog breeds are huge, but she's a lovely dog. She's got such a sweet nature, and we are so happy that we got her. And she's definitely giving DogDog a new lease of life.
Speaking of DogDogs, loads of you ask about him in the comments. So this is DogDog. He is a white German Shepherd crossed with a Golden Retriever. His real name is Masak, not DogDog, which is Inuit for white snow, because he's soft and snowy like. He's quite an old boy too. We didn't even think he'd make it over to Portugal. He was so unwell before we left. He was diagnosed quite early on in his life with hip dysplasia, and then that led to arthritis in all four of his legs and in his hocks particularly. He struggled quite a bit with walking, and he limps quite a lot, but the vets here, who are absolutely amazing and he loves them, have put him on a new treatment, which is an injection that he has once a month, and that seems to be helping wonders. It's only his second month, but he's doing so much better. He's not limping at all at the minute, and he seems much happier. Obviously, if he's being a complete Looney Tune, like the other day when he was chasing the ball around, then he's a bit limpy the next morning. But like the best of us, when we get up in the morning, it takes him a while just to get going. But he's my boy and I love him very much. This is our second autumn on the farm, so now we're quite used to the olive harvest. But one of the jobs we need to do for that, and we've done this week, is prune the branches from the bottom of the tree. Not only does it help the tree just fill out the olives, but it also stops the nets getting caught.
I'm standing in our olive grove, and it's pretty cool because 2 years ago we did not have an olive grove. We went on a farm, and now all of a sudden I've got close to 100 trees. It's incredible. Now we got a really big harvest off these trees. As you can see, we've got a whole bunch more olives. Now last year was a really big harvest. thanks to our neighbours who came and helped us. And this year, we've got another big harvest and it's coming up very soon. So we've basically got to get this, this area all prepared and all ready for the harvest. And one of the things that you need to do is make sure that it's all nice and flat, all the grass is cut, and there's a whole bunch of growth that starts to happen at the base of these trees, and you have to get rid of that.
There's two reasons we take these suckers off. Not suckers because they're horrible, but suckers because that's what they're called. One is because it takes away the growth from the fruit on the trees, so we don't want them putting energy into this when it can put energy into making lovely olives. The second reason is, as you'll see in a couple of weeks, when we do the harvest, they use big nets that go all the way around the bottom of the trees. And what they do is they tie them really close to the base of the trees. If these suckers are in the way, then what happens is the net doesn't sit close to the trunk. And when we're shaking the olives, whether that's by little grabby hands or by the shaky machine, they fall down in between the nets and the tree trunk, so we lose some of the harvest. And the nets are massive and they're just really easy then to collect all the olives up and tip them into buckets so we can take them for pressing.
We've arrived in our local village of Soleira, and Soleira means sunny. Now you can really see why. On an autumn day like this in October, the sun's still shining, it's still really hot, look I'm actually sweating. And yeah, it's just beaming on us still. This is exactly why we moved to Portugal, this is exactly what we wanted.
I always wanted to live somewhere hot and sunny, and
yeah.
Now I live in sunny.
Yeah, we literally live in a place called Sunny. While Gina sits in the shade with the dogs, I'm just going to go on to Christina's shop and I've got to get some bread. Hola, buen dia.
Bom dia.
Tudo bem?
Tudo bem.
Tudo bem. Oh, look at these ones. Okay. Perfect. Muito bem.
1,20.
120. Obrigado.
Merci. Obrigado.
Beijo.
Beijo. Obrigado.
Ciao.
Ciao. Ademã. Ademã.
Christina wasn't actually in today. That's her mom. She's absolutely lovely. She's so sweet. And yeah, if you're in the area, do come and stop by their mini MERCADO. Go and buy something there. Go and help support them. They're absolutely lovely people. It's a lovely little shop and you can buy all sorts of cool stuff there.